Family movie nights have a whole new definition when you and your sweetheart are the stars of the film. And President Ronald Reagan and his wife Nancy enjoyed watching movies they starred in during their weekend stays at Camp David. And President Reagan's former special advisor and press secretary Mark Weinberg is joining us now, and he's the author of Movie Nights with the Reagans. This is a really neat book. It's a great behind-the-scenes look at how you spent your time at Camp David. And tell people first, why did you decide to write this, and talk about how you divide the book up?
Well, I decided, thank you for having me. I decided to write this book because it's a story that's never been told. Everybody has read a lot of books about Ronald Reagan, but this is one side of his life that you've never seen before.
Seems very personal.
It was an up-close, private, behind-the-scenes look at their life at Camp David watching movies, and I wanted to, after all these years, tell that story.
And I like, too, that they were on board. Like, I love the back where it says fondly Nancy, just kind of how they were excited, genuinely excited for this book. And talk about just every chapter is talking about a different movie. Is that correct, or how does it work?
It is. You're right. You're right. Mrs. Reagan granted me an interview for this book. It was the last interview she gave before she died. And she told me how excited she was that finally the story was being told, that there'd been so many books about them, so many aspects, just this one aspect of their life that nobody had written about, and she was very excited, and I was very gratified by that. So yes, each chapter is based on a movie that we saw at Camp David or that they saw at the White House, and talk about the reactions to the movies and how the movies link to what was going on.
We have a couple clips here, and so what would they kind of point out in the movies, or what made it special when you were watching them?
Well, just being with them was special, but you're seeing 9 to 5 here, and that's the first chapter in this book, and I reveal for the first time that they didn't like that movie. It was a nice movie, but the president wrote in his diary that I went and read in researching this, that the scene where the women smoked marijuana made him mad.
I see.
And that ruined it for him.
So we have a couple seconds here left. So tell me an interesting quirk or something that is unique about this book, or just why people should read it in general.
They should read this book because it's a picture of the Reagans they've never seen before, how Hollywood influenced them. It's a book they should get if they're interested in movies or the presidency or history, and it's a book that for the first time ever takes you inside their living room at Camp David, the most private setting, and watches movies literally with them on their couch.
Seems very interesting. Well, Mark, thank you so much. And Mark will be at the main branch of the library for a presentation tonight at 7, and the event is free, but you should get tickets. You can get them by calling 574-1644, and Movie Nights with the Reagans is available locally at Barnes & Nobles and Carmichael's and on Amazon.